Have you ever been stuck on an assignment and you ask ChatGPT for help? Within seconds, you have a polished answer. But have you ever wondered, am I really learning or am I just letting AI do the work for me? AI tools like ChatGPT are revolutionizing the way we study and becoming prominent tools within the education sector. But what does this mean for our work ethic? Are we enhancing our cognitive abilities or are we becoming too reliant on technology? I conducted a series of survey and interview data from random university students. I gathered 25 survey responses and interviewed 8 willing individuals to see how they utilize AI softwares and how they think it affects them. There is no doubt that AI is on the rise. The Digital Education Council states that 86% of students utilize AI within their studies. My survey results prove this, indicating a high usage of AI, with 68% of students utilizing the software on a daily to weekly basis. Interview participants also indicated a strong use of AI within their studies. When asked why students use AI within their studies, the most popular responses were as follows. AI offers students instantaneous and detailed feedback on their work. The previous data reveals how accessibility and the instantaneous nature of AI are beneficial for students, which contributes to their extensive usage of the software, which could ultimately be their decline. When posed the question, describe a time AI has helped or hindered your learning, most participants viewed it as a positive tool, with only 2 out of 8 participants stating potential hindrances. Interestingly enough, 60% of survey participants find themselves occasionally relying on AI to problem solve. 7 out of 8 interviewed students believe that AI hasn't decreased their ability to think critically, with one student stating, AI allows me to very quickly find potential answers or solutions to problems, and thus provides a very tempting opportunity to have it think for me rather than think for myself. Most of the other participants stated the urgency to critically analyze AI output before using. Using AI requires students to be aware of the potential disadvantages of the software, its volatility to produce misleading or inaccurate information. Students' susceptibility to plagiarism and algorithmic bias may lead to the impairment of cognitive processes due to over-reliance on the software. 40% of surveyed students state they only fact-check AI occasionally to never, making this a real threat to students. However, the variety of responses gathered has suggested there are a multitude of variables to consider when analysing this data. This includes how self-aware students are in regards to the cognitive implications on long-term AI usage, how honest the participants are, how positive experiences with AI may cloud their judgment, and students' AI literacy. 60% of surveyed students believe AI has changed their study habits, with the majority of interviewees saying it has benefited their studies, making them more time efficient. 36% of survey participants indicated they found it harder to retain information long-term when using AI, with 28% stating their procrastination habits have increased. This suggests it's hindering their cognitive abilities and critical thinking processes, and making over a quarter of students less motivated. The interview results varied, with the majority of students believing AI doesn't affect their attention spans at all. On the contrary, benefiting them immensely as it condenses information for them, which makes it easier to retain. One student stated that it has the potential to decrease their attention span purely because it's so easy to use and find what I need. This makes it viable that AI could have potential impacts on students' attention spans, whether they're aware of it or not. Overall, there are pros and cons of AI usage, yet students' awareness and over-reliance are at the forefront of these disadvantages. Some of the pros include that it can personalise learning, it grants you immediate feedback, it can provide greater access to resources, it can make hard-to-grasp concepts more understandable, and it has the potential to foster critical thinkers. However, some of the cons include bias in AI algorithms, plagiarism and academic misconduct, and inaccuracy, also known as AI hallucinations. Research and education fundamentally rely on evidence, decision-making, critical thinking, and analytical thinking, which are crucial for thoroughly analysing and evaluating the quality of information. This can be jeopardized when AI comes into play. In conjunction with academic sources, my data reveals that AI literacy is at the core of AI implications on cognitive function. If students are aware of the disadvantages of AI software and use it with caution, critically analysing its output, it can be used as a productive tool in education, whereas students over-relying on AI, not fact-checking and using it incessantly may result in cognitive impairments that affect critical thinking and analysis long-term. Mindful usage is vital to avoid diminishing our cognitive abilities. From the data I've gathered, it's become clear that user experience varies, and there are so many factors to examine when considering the implications and experiences of every individual AI user. AI and its users have so many complexities and nuances, whether it be the course they're studying, why they're using AI, if they validate AI information, or students' individual experiences and prior critical thinking and analysis skills. Research has made it inherently clear that there is a link between impaired cognitive function and AI use, and my data gives reason to believe that attention spans could be affected. However, there's no way to validate every participant's truthfulness in responses, which is another factor to consider when analysing this data. We've all heard of buyer beware, but in this instance, user beware. Next time you use AI, consider its pros and cons, how it has the potential to affect the way we think, and consider how often you use it, as your intentions and usage can create long-term learning and cognitive impairments.